بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome once again. I say salamu alaikum to you, the greeting of the believers. We are here once again, inshallah, to continue our explanation of the kitab Ahkamu As-Siyaam fi Shahr Ramadan, the rulings of fasting in the month of Ramadan, a book compiled by Abu Bakr bin al-Amin al-Sulaiman al-Anchawi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him. Today, inshallah, we're going to the 5th chapter in the kitab, and if Allah spares our lives, we'll go to the 6th chapter also, inshallah. In the 5th chapter, Sheikh tells us, if you remember, our last session was on the fada'il of the month of Ramadan, the virtues of the month of Ramadan. Today, inshallah, we're going to discuss the arkan of Siyam. Arkanu Siyam, the essential parts of fasting, if you like, you say the compulsory aspects of fasting, without which fasting is null and void. Lissawmi ruknan. Fasting has two essential parts. Huma an-niyatu wal-imsak. These essential parts are an-niyya, intention, wal-imsak, and abstinence. Intention and abstinence. If any of these two essential parts is missing, then there is no fast for the one that assumes that he is fasting. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us. Faniyatu, what is niyya? What is intention? We know the hadith of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, when Umar bin Khattab is saying that he had the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, "Innamal a'mal bin niyyat." Actions are bought by intention. Intention is what separates Salat al-Asr. Otherwise, they have 4 rakats and they are prayed in the same fashion. But the difference between Salat al-Zuhr and Salat al-Asr is the intention behind it. And we have one of the legal maxims in the Sharia that states that al-umur bimaqasidiha. Al-umur bimaqasidiha. Matters are but by their intended purpose. What is niyyah? هي قصد التقرب إلى الله بالعبادة. This is, intending to seek for nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking for closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bil ibadah, through worshipping. That is, you're worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the sole intention of getting closeness to Him. Let me state my famous statement. Not for fame, nor for fortune, but to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَحَلُّهَا الْقَلْبِ. The place of intention is the heart. The place of intention is the heart. Meaning, intention is what you make in the heart. It is not something that you utter. If you were to utter something that is different from what is in your heart, Islam will judge you by that which is in your heart. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at our bodies, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at our hearts. وَالتَّلَفُّظُ بِهَا بِدْعَةٌ. To pronounce intention, to state it, if you utter it, at-talaffuzu biha bid'atun, saying that, oh, I intend to fast the month of Ramadan. Uttering it, stating it is bid'ah. Wa in ra'a wan-nasu hasana. Even if people see it as something good, it is bid'ah. Even if people see it as something good, it remains bid'ah. Why? Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah in Fatawa al-Kubra, he said, it is bid'ah according to the companions, Ashab al-Malik, the companions of Malik, you know, the Malikiyah, the scholars of the Malikiyah, and also according to, you know, the some of the scholars of the Hanabila, Ahmad bin Hanbal, some of the scholars of the Mazhab of Ahmad bin Hanbal, they view bid'ah action for you to utter intention. Why? Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, neither did the Prophet nor the Sahaba utter intention verbally, for they understood that the place of intention is the heart, which means the one that wakes up at night and waits for the announcement of the sighting of the crescent of the month of Ramadan, and after hearing the announcement, wakes up at the time of sahur to eat something, that person has made the intention to fast. It needs not to utter it again. So, it is in the heart. It is in the heart. And this intention has to be made when? This intention has to be made at night before Fajr. The Sheikh said, وَيَجِبُ الْجَزْمُ وَتَعْيِينُ فِي النِّيَّةِ وَالتَّبِيتُ بِهَا قَبْلَ الْفَجْرِ فِي الْفَرْضِ دُونَ النَّفْلِ. And I will explain. Sheikh said, وَيَجِبُ الْجَزْمُ. It is compulsory, it is obligatory that one specifies and makes the intention of wanting to fast, sleeping with it while going to bed, or at night, قبل الفجر في الفرض, before the appearance of the dawn, before the appearance of Fajr. This applies to the compulsory fast of the month of Ramadan. You have to make intention before Fajr time. Otherwise, your fast is null and void, which you have to pay back again. Duna nafli. He said duna nafli, which means with the exception of the supererogatory fasting. With the fasting that we do, Mondays and Thursdays, the Psalm of Ayyam Bid, all these, the intention to make them can be made after Fajr, and there will not be problem for that. But when it is fard, the Ramadan fasting, the intention has to be made before Fajr time. Know the difference. There is the hadith of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu from Hafsa, his sister, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where she said, that the hadith has been narrated in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad and Ashab al-Sunan, Ibn Majah, or Tirmizi, wakada. They have narrated this narration, and also Ibn Hibban and Ibn Khuzaymah. And Ibn Hibban, he said the hadith is authentic, was Sahahahu Ibn Hibban, and the hadith is marfu'. Yes, what does marfu' hadith means? Hadith marfu' is the hadith, that وما أضفته إلى الأصحاب من فعل وقول وهو موقوف ذكر وما أضيف للنبي وهو مرفوع. That which has been attributed directly, the chain of connection directly linked to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which has been attributed directly to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is called marfu', as it was stated in Manzumat al-Bayquniyah. Now, back to what I was saying. But when it comes to other fasts, you can make your niyyah even at the time of dua, when the sun has already come out, because of the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha. The hadith is Sahih Muslim. Aisha radiallahu anha, she said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sometimes the Prophet will ask her, do you have any food? Hal indakum shay. Look at the household of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet will wake up in the morning, there is no food. He will ask his beloved wife, Aisha radiallahu anha, the mother of the believers, our mother, inshallah, because we pray that we are among the believers. The mother of believers, Aisha radiallahu anha, she said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will ask her, any food for me to eat, anything at all, anything, even if it is, a dates, a rutab or a tamar, even if it is something, a bread, something, is there anything for me to eat? Aisha radiallahu anha said, if there is no any food available, they will tell the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is nothing for you to eat. This is the best household. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say, inni idhan sa'im. If that is the case, then I'm fasting. So based on this, the scholars said it is permissible for one to take to make the intention of fasting, the supererogatory fast, even if the sun has come up, because this was at the time of dua, as stated by Aisha radiallahu anha in the hadith of Muslim, that the time of dua, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to her, and when he asked her, Ali indakum shay, and she said there is nothing, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, inni idhan sa'im. Back to what I was saying. So this is the first rukun. We said the Arkan As-Siyaam, the essential aspects of Siyam, the obligatory parts of Siyam, we said there are two, and this one we said it has Ar-Rukunan, Huma and Niyyatu wal Imsak, and I've just explained what Niyyah is. Now, Wa'ammal Imsak, what is Imsak? Abstinence. Wa'ammal Imsaku fahuwa al-kaffu عن الأكل والشرب والجماع من طلوع الفجر الصادق إلى غروب الشمس. Al-Imsak, the second essential part of fasting, is for one to abstain from eating, drinking, and sexual intercourse. Min tulu al-fajri as-sadiq, from the moment that the fajr appears, the dawn, from the dawn ila ghurub ash-shams, till the time of the setting of the sun. This is the second essential part of fasting. We all know this. So within these hours, if you are experiencing longer day, shorter day, whatever it is in your region, you should know that from that moment of Fajr, the dawn till the time of sunset, it is haram for one to eat, to drink, and to have an affair with his wife. This is al-imsak. This is al-imsak. And this is the second essential part of fast. We have 15 more minutes, inshallah. So we promise that the program is going to be for 30 minutes. So we go into chapter 6 of the kitab. Remember, the kitab we're going through, or we say, it's just a short one. Muqtasar fi ahkam, is just a summary of some of the rulings regarding the month of Ramadan. Don't forget, Ahkamu Ramadan, bin Sulaiman al-Anchawi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve it. Chapter 6, Sunan As-Siyaam, the Sunnah aspects of Siyam, meaning those parts that are not the essential parts, those parts that are not, the wajib, the obligatory parts. As-Suhoor. As-Suhoor, we all know this. It's one of the Sunnah of Siyam. And what is Suhoor? In Lisan al-Arab, it says that Suhoor is, the food or the drink that is consumed by a person at the end of the night. That is what is called sahur. The food or the drink that is consumed by a person at the end of the night. Lisan al-Arab. فالسحور, Sheikh continues. فالسحور هو أن يتناول من أراد الصوم شيئا من الطعام وقت السحر. He said, sahur is for the one that intends to fast to take something, however little it is. شيئا أصغر النكرة. However little it is, just to take something. A sip of water, one piece of dates, one spoon of rice, one munch of amala, whatever it is that is your favorite meal. You all know your favorite meal, especially in the month of Ramadan. What sahur means is for the fasting person or the one that intends to fast to take something, to eat something, waqt as-sahari, before the end, just before the end of the night, at the time of sahur. وَالشُّرِعَ السُّحُورِ تَقْوِيَةً لِلصَّائِمِ. In the Sharia, it has been legislated for the Muslim faithful to eat something at the time of sahur. One of the reasons, تَقْوِيَةً لِلصَّائِمِ, it gives strength to the one that is fasting. Let me give you this analogy. The one that has full tank, you went to a filling station together with someone, and you fill up your tank and you're traveling a certain distance. If you set up on a journey together and you stop by maybe at the time of sahur to eat food, to refuel your car, and this other person just continued driving without stopping, when you stop to refuel, to top up your tank, will the distance covered by your cars be the same? No. Your car will cover far more distance than him, simply because you have topped up. The same thing with sahur. The one that eats the pre-dawn meal will tend to be more energetic, has more strength, perhaps more than the other person. But perhaps it's not always the case. You have some people that are strong, they can withstand that without eating the sahur. They can act strongly without having any fatigue coming their way. But I hope it's understood, the analogy I drew up here. Another reason why the Sharia legislated sahur is وَتَفْرِقَةً بَيْنَ صِيَامِنَا وَصِيَامِ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ, a difference to differentiate between our type of fasting and the type of fasting of Ahlul Kitab. What are the Ahlul Kitab? The Jews and the Christians. Al-Yahud wal-Nasara. They are Ahlul Kitab. So sahur is the difference. It's there to differentiate between our type of fasting as Muslims and the type of fasting observed, the type of fast that is observed by the Jews and the Christians. As it was stated in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ made it clear that sahur is there also to differentiate between our type of fasting and the fasting of the people of the book. The people of the book, you realize that they fast almost 24 hours without eating, and the Muslims, they do not fast like that. Their fasting is from the time of Fajr till the time of sunset. Another thing, under as-sahur, وَيُسْتَحَبُّ تَأْخِيرُهُ إِلَى قُبَيْلِ الْفَجْرِ وَأَنْ يَكُونَ بِهِ شَيْءٌ مِنَ التَّمْرِ. Now, Sheikh said, وَيُسْتَحَبُّ تَأْخِيرُهُ, it is recommended, it is liked, it is recommended for the one that intends to fast to delay the pre-dawn meal, to delay the pre-dawn meal, إِلَى قُبَيْلِ الْفَجْرِ, till just before Salat al-Subh, before the coming up of Al-Fajr. Qubayl, is different from Qabla. Qubayl is, what the Hausa will say, dab da lokacin fitowar Al-Fajr. Dab da lokacin, just before. That is Qubayl. So it is mustahab. What it means is, if you do it like that, if you eat by 2 a.m., you have still eaten sahur because it is before the time of, the coming up of Al-Fajr. But the one that eats it just before Al-Fajr has an additional reward that the one that eats by 2 a.m. is lacking from. But even though the one that eats by 2 a.m. is not committing any sin, he has done the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. But the one that eats Qubayl al-Fajr, that person, inshallah, will have an additional reward because he has done something, an additional thing from among the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ that attracts reward, which means this that we should hasten to revive by eating just before the time of Fajr. Let's say 30 minutes before, 20 minutes before, 10 minutes before, but let us not draw it too close because, we are weak and, the meat is just too delicious for you to leave and the Fajr is already out. So to be on the safe side, the safety net that the Malikiya school of thought will always emphasize on, the safety net principle is very important, saddu zariya, so that you don't fall into the unwanted. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. وَأَنْ يَكُونَ بِهِ شَيْءٌ مِنَ التَّمْرِ. It is part of the sunnah also that our sahur should be with dates, dabino, dates. It is recommended, just as we hasten to break our fast with dates, it is also recommended for us to take our pre-dawn meal with dates. Another thing on the suhoor, وَقَدْ ثَبَتَ أَنَّ فِي السَّحُورِ بَرَكَةً وَأَنَّ اللَّهُ مَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى الْمُتَسَحِّرِينَ. The hadith in Bukhari and Muslim, muttafaqu alayh. Now, Sheikh each just gave us the summary of these things, but for each statement that is written in this kitab of each, there is a hadith, and I try as much as possible to go back to the mother books to get the hadith that talks about the points that he has listed here. And this point that he has listed, that وَقَدْ ثَبَتَ أَنَّ فِي السَّحُورِ, that it has been established that verily in sahur, the food that we eat, the pre-dawn meal, barakatan, there is blessing in it. Who is not looking, who among us is not after, barakah? We all are looking for blessings. We all are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us. We all are exploring various avenues to become blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of the ways to gain blessing, and that is by, taking the pre-dawn meal. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ, and that verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his angels يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى الْمُتَسَيْحِرِينَ, they make salat on those that take the pre-dawn meal. It is not macho. You know what macho is? Strength. It is not being, Muhammad Ali. No. That, no, I don't eat. Some people say, I don't even take sahur. I'm very strong. No, you are missing out on something. Part of which is, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala al-mutasahhirin. Who are the mutasahhirin? These are the people that take the pre-dawn meal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes salat on them. And this is amazing. Maghfirah, blessings, forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the angels of Allah asking Allah to forgive you just because you are filling your belly. What a beautiful religion Islam is. In the Quran, Allah said, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Surah Al-Azab, Allah and his malaika, they are making salat on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is amazing. Then another place in Surah Al-Baqarah, when Allah said, those people that say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Allah said, Ulaika, these are people that upon them, alayhim salawat, blessing, salat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Al-Azab again, it is stated that Allah and his messenger, Allah and his malaika, they make salat on the believers. Wa kana bil mu'minina rahima, in that verse of Surah Al-Azab. Again, here in this hadith, it states that Allah and his malaika, they make salat on the mutasahhirin, those people that take pre-dawn meal. So for us to have multiple places, we all are looking for ways of exploring the blessings, the spiritual blessings kept in the month of Ramadan. It is only wise for us to take full advantage of the month of Ramadan. And one of the advantages we have in the month of Ramadan is that when we take the pre-dawn meal, Allah and his malaika, they make salawat on us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with the blessings of Islam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us, tawfiq in whatever we do. We have 2 more minutes. I use these 2 more minutes to go back to the issue of intention. Now, it is pertinent for us to understand here because some people will have this question. A woman is experiencing a menstrual cycle, and all of a sudden, she wakes up 6 a.m. and she realized that the blood has stopped flowing. But she's doubting. She doesn't know when the blood stopped. But it's at 6 a.m. on the day of Ramadan that she saw that the blood has stopped flowing. Now, scholars say she has to do this other part of Ramadan fasting, which is al-imsak. And al-imsak is al-kaffu an al-akli wa shirbi wal jima'i. She will not eat, she will not drink, and she will not cohabit with her husband. It is haram for her. But the intention is not legitimate. Why? Because the intention is coming after Ba'd al-Fajr. It is coming after al-Fajr. And whoever does not have the intention of fasting, like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Man lam yajma' as-siyam qabla al-fajr, fala siyam lahu." The one that does not have the intention of fasting before Fajr, there is no fast for him. So based on this, the scholars say, and this is this is the hadith that is in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, and it is the hadith that has been narrated by the Ashab al-Sunan, and it is the hadith that Ibn Khuzaymah said it is, it is authentic. So whoever does not have the intention of fasting before Fajr, so for any woman or any such person that just realize that it is Ramadan and continues fasting with other people, yes, it is haram for him to eat, like it is haram for the woman whose blood has stopped 5 p.m. just 2 hours before the end of the blood stopped. It is haram for her to eat. She will have to stop eating, but she will repeat the fast of that day. Whatever we have said that is consistent with the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah reward us abundantly. Where we have made mistakes, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our shortcomings. Inshallah, till we meet again. And I will communicate back my Twitter handle via my Facebook, the WhatsApp groups. Inshallah, when next we're going to have it. Perhaps tomorrow, perhaps a day after. If inshallah we're chance tomorrow again, we continue from where we stopped. I hope the lesson has been learned and each one of us will take our pre-dawn meal seriously. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite us in Jannatul Firdaus. I remain yours in Islam, Abu Jabir, Abdullah bin Musa bin Abdul, Penabdul. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.